Epictetus, the slave who taught the world to be free. Imagine being born a slave, beaten by your master, denied every freedom, and still finding peace, wisdom, and power. He owned nothing, yet he gave the world a treasure, the path to true freedom. This is the story of Epictetus, the philosopher who proved that no one can imprison your mind unless you let them. Chapter 1. The Chains of Destiny. Epictetus was born around 50 AD in Hierapolis, a city in Phrygia in what is now modern-day Turkey. But from the moment of his birth, fate handed him chains. He was born into slavery, owned by a wealthy Roman named Epictetus, a powerful secretary to Emperor Nero himself. Despite the grim circumstances, Epictetus's early life lit the first sparks of philosophical thought. Even in his harsh condition, he sought something higher. While his master was cruel, some accounts say Epictetus was physically disabled due to beatings, his spirit remained unbroken. It's said that when his leg was being twisted and he cried out, his master mocked him. Epictetus looked him in the eye and calmly said, "You're going to break it." Moments later, crack. "See? I told you." That calm acceptance of suffering became a foundation of his teachings. Chapter 2. The mind is always free despite being a slave. Epictetus was permitted to attend philosophy lectures in Rome. There he became a student of Musonius Rufus, a Stoic philosopher. Under Rufus, Epictetus absorbed the core tenets of Stoicism: virtue, reason, control over the self, and acceptance of nature's laws. Eventually, Epictetus was freed. But he did not seek wealth or fame. He chose instead to live a life of simplicity and teaching. His own possessions, barely more than a mat, a lamp, and a cloak, yet his mind overflowed with treasure. He often told his students, "You may fetter my leg, but my will, not even Zeus can overcome that." He believed true freedom was not about external circumstances, but internal mastery. Chapter 3. Exile. To enlightenment, in 94 AD, Emperor Domitian expelled all philosophers from Rome. Epictetus, now in his 40s, moved to Nicopolis in northwestern Greece. There, he established a school of philosophy that attracted students from across the Roman Empire. One of his most famous students, a young man named Arrian, who would go on to write down Epictetus's teachings in two major works: the Discourses, informal conversations and lessons; the Enchiridion, a short manual of Stoic advice, because Epictetus never wrote anything himself. Everything we know about him comes from Arrian's writings, yet his voice remains strikingly vivid, like he's still speaking to us today. Chapter 4. What is in your control? Epictetus began with a simple question: what can we control and what can we not? This question is the backbone of Stoic wisdom. What we can control: our thoughts, choices, reactions, desires. What we cannot control: our body, wealth, reputation, health, and what others say or do. Trying to control what is not ours, Epictetus warned, leads to misery, but accepting what we cannot change, while mastering our responses, leads to peace. He said, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control, and some things are not. Chapter 5. Philosophy for daily life. Epictetus was not interested in theory alone. He believed philosophy must be practical. To him, philosophy was a kind of training for the soul. Like an athlete trains the body, the philosopher trains the mind. Each daily event was an opportunity to live virtuously. He told his students to practice every day. When insulted, practice patience. When you lose something, say, "It was given for a time, and now returned." When angry, ask, "Is this something under my control?" He even advised imagining our loved ones might not live forever, not out of coldness, but to cherish them deeply, right now. Never say about anything, "I have lost it," but only, "I have given it back." Chapter 6. The power of perception. Epictetus taught that nothing is good or bad in itself. It is our opinion that makes it so. If someone insults you, it's not the words that hurt, but your judgment, that those words matter. It is not events that disturb people, he said, but their judgments about them. He constantly emphasized the importance of right perception. Life is fleeting. Fame is empty. Death is natural. Loss is not loss, but change. To Epictetus, true strength comes from learning to see the world with clarity, not through emotion or ego, but through reason and acceptance. Chapter 7. Role of the Divine and Nature. Though a Stoic, Epictetus held a deep spiritual view of the universe. He often referred to the divine, Zeus, or nature as a higher order we must trust. He taught that the universe is governed by logos, a divine rationality, and our job is to live in harmony with it. He said, "Don't seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." In modern terms, he's telling us, stop resisting reality, flow with it, trust it. Whether you call it God, destiny, the universe, or nature, there is a deeper wisdom than ours, and peace comes from surrendering our ego to that larger design. Chapter 8. Teaching with Fire. Despite his calm tone, Epictetus was often fiery with his students. He would scold those who only came to philosophy for status or debate. He demanded commitment. "Don't just read books," he said. "Live the lessons. You say you admire Socrates? Then act like Socrates." He believed philosophy wasn't for show, it was a way of life, a constant battle with our lower instincts, fears, and desires. He even called philosophers spiritual soldiers, not of others' bodies, but of their own hearts. Chapter 9. Legacy. Epictetus died around 135 AD. He left no wealth, no monuments, no titles, but his ideas echoed through the centuries. His teachings shaped the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who carried Epictetus's ideas in his heart. Enlightenment thinkers like Descartes and Kant respected him. In modern times, Epictetus is quoted in therapy, military training, self-help books, and even movies. Why? Because he spoke a truth we still need to hear. You are not a slave unless you choose to be. Your mind is your kingdom. Guard it, rule it, and you will be free. So, who was Epictetus? Not a man of power, not a man of property, but a man of immense inner strength. A man who turned suffering into wisdom. A man who turned slavery into philosophy, and gave us a path to inner freedom. In a world obsessed with control, success, and status, his voice reminds us, you have all you need within you. Let go, accept, choose wisely, and walk the path of virtue. Thank you for watching. If you found this inspiring, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest minds in history. And remember, the only true freedom is the freedom of your own